Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Drillstevejr Jr. review. Today we'll be taking a look at the buzzworthy Bumblebee re-release of SS86 Deluxe Class Cup. Anyway, let's get straight into this, shall we? So, it being Cup, he's a pickup truck, you know? Or more specifically, he's a Cybertronian pickup truck. So, yeah. Let's get into the details, shall we? So, we got some nice details, like there's a vent right there. There's some nice rivet and paneling detail along the body. We got an Autobot logo right there, picked out in red, because it's an Autobot logo. It's always picked out in red. Sometimes white, but mainly red. And then we have this piece back here, which is painted, which it really didn't need to, but it's painted, because why not? Anyway, we have this door back here, which is angled upwards, to keep that triangle aesthetic with the front of the pickup truck. You know, looks like it would slide down like in one of the Star Wars movies. Got a nice flatbed. You can put your crap in it, like, I don't know, this bowl that came with Rouge. The bowl that came with Jack's Pacific Rouge. Still have absolutely no idea what the hell this even is, but you can put it in the back of the pickup truck if you want. This side is exactly the same. And that part came undone. You know, Autobot logo. This piece is painted for some reason. Fenders. I guess now I should probably talk about this. The main difference between this figure and the original release is the color scheme. I believe the turquoise, the signature cup turquoise, is a bit darker on this figure, but it could be the exact same shade that they used on the original figure, but I think this is supposed to be a bit darker. The fenders are done in a kind of a sandy-ish, slightly greenish, slightly bluish, kind of also tan color. It's kind of weird to explain what color this is, but it provides nice contrast to the turquoise. I guess this could be considered sandy turquoise or light turquoise. I'm not a color expert, so bear with me. The windshield is is opaque on this figure, where it was translucent on the original release. But it's opaque on this version. So and it is done in sort of a washed out blue. So yeah, it's very white, but it's also kind of bluish, so it's a washed out blue. And there is some minor scuffs and battle damage on this figure, both here, and we'll see a lot more of it in the robot mode, but this is sort of the main point of contention in vehicle mode. The turquoise itself does look a lot bluer on the filter, the camera. I don't know why I said the filter, because I don't have a filter on the video. But just the camera in general, my lens screen, it looks a lot more bluish, but in person it's a lot more greenish. But it's still blue-ish, but like it has more green in it in real life, if that makes any sense. You know, it's turquoise. Anyway, flipping it underneath, we have we can see his arms, his legs, his crotch, his belly. All the good stuff. And we have rolling wheels. They all roll. The back wheels are all covered up, and the front wheels are all exposed. But he rolls. He can roll pretty well for an old timer. And he can roll right on into the size comparison. So let's get into them, shall we? I totally did not steal that segue from, that idea for a segue from Jobby the Han. Anyway, so here he is with skids, another relatively modern deluxe. So you can see, He's a bit taller and a bit wider than Skids, but Skids is a lot denser. He's more dense. Meanwhile, he's kind of flat as a pancake other than the triangularly shaped cab. He'd look like a flatbed trailer if you sawed that off. Here he is with a modern Voyager bulkhead. And I say these guys scale pretty well together. Well, that's just my opinion. And a vehicle expert might be like, "You idiot, this guy's supposed to be like the same size as that guy. Why is it so out of scale?" Or on the opposite way, it could be, "This guy's supposed to be bigger than him because reasons." I don't know. Here he is with a Tonka, not Tonka Racing Thunder, not Tonka Racing Thunder, but a Tonka front end loader. And I swear to God, if anyone calls this thing a bulldozer in the comments, I swear to God, I am going to do something very not nice. But should probably stop before I go on a 12-hour rant about how people are idiots when it comes to front-end loaders. Because people love to call them bulldozers, but they're not bulldozers, they're front-end loaders. Anyway, here he is with Matt Crafton. 1/64 scale, NASCAR diecast. I was holding him in place because he likes to run off the table. And here he is with a NASCAR, no, not a NASCAR car, a Pixar car. Here he is with a Hot Wheels Supra with rubber tires. Booyah. Here he is with the G1 reissue of Tailgate. And second to lastly, here he is with a Lego minifigure. Don't really think he's a bit out of scale, but you know, that's something that I'm pretty sure everyone would like to see, and I will deliver. But last comparison for vehicle mode is with what was the toy line again? Combiner Wars. Combiner Wars Ironhide, who is a pickup truck, so I thought this would be a fitting comparison. So that you can see how he scales with an older deluxe, and also how he scales with an Earth-based pickup truck compared to a Cybertronian mode. But yeah, that's it for comparisons. Now let's get down to accessories, which I probably should have covered before comparisons, but whatever. Anyway, so first off we have his gun. Very nicely detailed. Kind of reminds me of the syringe gun that the medic uses in Team Fortress 2. Set that right there. And he comes with one other accessory. Good old Energon goodies. Which looks like an oil can, but it's not an oil can. It's Energon goodies. It dispenses out a little Energon goodie, and then he pulls it off, and then he gives it to the alien, you know. And you can store the accessories with this tab right here, and there's one on the other side, and you can take the accessories and do that, or you could oh, that's why. Or you could do it like that. and that, or you could put them on different sides, or you can do whatever you want. It's your toy. Do whatever you want because it's your toy. Let's take these off because now it is time to get on to the transformation. Woo! Yeah, finally time for the transformation after 10 minutes. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to remove, jostle out this top section right here. It's a bit in there. After you get it out, you can reveal his head. Hey, how you doing? Should probably sound a bit more raspy than that because it's cut, but whatever. It's not impression time, it's review time. And then you can flip out the feet, just so you don't forget to do it later. And now for the trickiest part of the whole transformation. You want to come here and you want to push in on this section right here, this part right here, and this specific area. And then you want to push this part down by the wheel and just sort of, yeah, do it by the tab. I don't know why I said push by the wheel. Pull by the tab. And it'll come undone. Just let that float there for a second. Come over here to the other side. Push down on this. And there we go. Clearance is not this figure's strong suit, but it's not absolutely terrible. Like Bulb Forms Gladius or whatever figures are infamous for terrible transformations. There's that one third-party Starscream that is absolutely terrible with clearance. And I forgot to do this. Untab the hands from these pegs, and then you can fold up those, and then you can put these down. Guess I should show off how to do that. There's a little tab there. We'll go into that slot right there. And it'll hold that all in place. And now you have a Gur truck. That's a mode. Alright. Anyway, that was a joke, by the way. That's not a real mode. But now we can... should probably do these first. You can push these down and lock those into place. This is my first time doing a Transformers review, which is probably why it's so unprofessional. Flip this down, push that inwards, close it back up. That's the only reason why you even can open up the thighs, because they have to be like this for vehicle mode, and they're like this for robot mode. Now, get that back open. We can now take these panels and flip them out. Up, and he'll fall over in the process. And you want to pull on this section. You want to pull from the legs and separate this turquoise section and this gray section that is covered by this panel. And when you do that, you will bring things. You'll start to bring things up, and then you can just. This chest is on a double hinge, so we gotta maneuver it a bit, but then it will lock into place like so. And let me get my divider. No, not my divider. Let's put a box on my camera so that I can raise it up, because someone broke my tripod. I'm not gonna name who, but can you? Thank you, camera. Anyway, but someone broke my tripod, so now I have to use this weird makeshift setup. But now you want to take this gray part and these two parts that are connected to the gray part and flip that down so you have room to see. And raise this up a little bit to provide clearance. And then you can bring in the wheels. And you can flip this down now. Then you can come here, focus. This is already a really bad tutorial on how to transform them. I need the camera to at least focus so that it looks like I know what I'm doing. Anyway, you want to take this turquoise part and flip it inwards. And you take this, if it hasn't done it already, and fold it in. And then there's these two slots which will go into the two tabs there. And that will plug in, and that is his backpack, which is quite small for a Transformer backpack. And now you want to come here to the shoulders, and you want to, these parts move, you want to move them inwards like so, and then orient the arm properly, and then there's a slot right about there, which will go into that tab and lock it into place. Same thing on the other side. Oh. I rotated down the wrong thing. Oh. We'll get to that feature a bit later. I meant to rotate that, lock it into place, and then rotate the arm down so that's in the right position. And then plug in the shoulder into the torso. And after terrible camera work, things not focusing, a makeshift setup flopping around on me, he is transformed. So, Mr. Cup is transformed, and if the camera can focus on his head, say, he has a pretty nice sculpt. He definitely looks old, which is, you know, fitting. Focus, camera. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, he does have some scuffs on his arms and his shoulders. No, his legs and his shoulders and one of the arms. Oh, on the back of this arm for some reason. And very nice mechanical detail, by the way, on the top section. Looks very realistic, almost like a Michael Bay Transformer. Going down the legs, see, wheels are still there. The toes, orange on the arms, orange on the crotch, and gray for a belt. And yeah. Now for articulation, if he can frickin' focus. The head is on a ball joint, so he can move all sorts of ways, and because it's on a ball joint, it can rotate. But the ball joint, the ball is actually different from a lot of other action figure heads I've dealt with. The ball is actually connected to the head, and the socket is in this piece. the gray piece. So when it looks down and around, it looks a lot more natural because the socket is in here and the ball is actually in the head, which is quite cool. I like that. The arms can rotate a full 360. You can be a helicopter preparing for takeoff. The shoulders can go in that far and can go pretty far up. Focus. My camera does not want to focus for me. He has a bicep swivel, which is a bit loose on mine, but that's because of feature we'll talk about in a bit. A very softly ratcheted elbow. So you can get about quite a bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. No waist swivel, which is really, really stupid, but I guess, to be fair, when you're transforming that thing, you need the hands to be in a specific place to grip the bottom of the flatbed, so I guess if wrists were at play, it might get annoying. There is a waist swivel. And, whoa! Camera! Camera! Camera. This review is a train wreck, but I'm gonna persevere because I'm Batman. Anyway, but you can go all the way around. There's no hindrance because the backpack is all the way up here, and it's a very small backpack. The hips can go out that far, so he can do the full splits. He has a thigh rotation. Almost a waist rotation, but that's the waist rotation. You can put the feet down if you want that. There is ports in the bottom of his feet for weaponizers if you're into that. And then the ankles can move that far inwards. So pretty solid articulation, I'd say. And you know, can give him his blaster and his Energon goodies. There's no place to store the accessories in robot mode as far as I'm aware. Kind of disappointing because I do really like this, but I don't want him holding it all the time. I'd rather have it on like his hip or something, but I don't see anywhere to put it. And before you say, oh, you could use the holes right there, it doesn't work. It won't fit, which is unfortunate because I'd like to store that on his person in robot mode, but I can't, and now he's sad because he can't store it for later. He has to hold it while in battle and risk it getting shot out of his hand. But you know, he can shoot. I think his gun barrel is too thin for an effect part. Forgot to mention that, but I believe it's too thin for an effect part, even though that does kind of look like it would fit one. It doesn't, because it's too thin. And I guess now we can talk about this feature. He can be ripped apart just like in the movie. And you know, if you have Hot Rod, which I don't have the SS86 Hot Rod, but I do have a Hot Rod. I do have a hot rod. I do have a hot rod. Let me just transform him because I had him in vehicle mode. There you go. I have the Power of the Prime's hot rod, so, you know, you can have him fix him up. You know, grab leg and weld it on and all that stuff. And I almost put his leg on the wrong leg. Almost got off on the wrong foot. And now he's back to normal. And because he's back to normal, we can go to comparisons. And I guess since we already brought him out for the little scene recreation, here he is with Power of the Prime's hot rod, which does not want to stand, even though they was standing just a few seconds ago. So, you know, that's that hot rod. Here he is with his more mature self. This is when he hits puberty. Here he is with Rodimus Prime. Here he is with a standard modern Voyager, Cyclonus. Freaking love this figure, by the way. Here he is with a Red Alert, I'd say about an averagely sized modern deluxe, so he's a bit taller than the average. Here he is with one of the bigger modern deluxes, Spinister. So you can see I think he's about a hair shorter than, yeah, he's a little bit shorter than Spinister, but in robot mode he is kind of on the taller side when it comes to deluxes. Here he is with a deluxe class figure, you know, and his shoulders undone. How'd that happen? Anyway, but here he is with Huffer, you know, sort of cliff jumper scale deluxe. Here he is with a very fitting comparison. Old crotchety old timer meets old crotchety old timer. Here he is with Ratchet. So you can see how those two scale up. Let's bring in the Lego minifigure real quick. That's sort of standard. Here he is with a 3 1/4 inch action figure. I don't know why I had such a hard time pronouncing that. But there he is with a 3 1/4 inch action figure. Oh, Dameron. Here he is with Jazzwares, or is this McFarlane Toys? I think this is McFarlane Toys, but it might be Jazzwares. I can't remember. Uraka. I really should just get the Revoltech version. Here he is with the man, the myth, Barry. So you can see how he scales with Barry. And here he is with Big Bot. Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And last but not least, my last review. And her leg is a bit wonky. Stand. There we go. My last review. Jack's Pacific Rouge. And just for shits and giggles, here's the ball that she came with. Still have absolutely no idea what that is. But yeah. This was a train wreck of a review, but if for some reason this review convinced you to purchase a Cup figure, well then be my guest. Go get him, because I think he's great. So yeah, this was my first attempt at a Transformers review, and let me know what kind of figure you want to see me review next. I have tons of figures, tons of Lego sets. I could review a Lego set, I could review an action figure. Could even review, I don't know, a book or something, like that one back there, or something like that. But, yeah, this has been Drillstevejr Jr. signing off, and I'll see you in the next review, whenever that is.